Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Clock, and today we'll be playing Backstage Infatuation Prologue. It's just a prologue for right now. Let's get right into it. It's a visual novel Yandere game. Oh, you know what, actually, let me just, I know, okay, I did the intro, YouTube, I did the intro. I always forget about this sometimes. Give me a second. There we go! Warning, this game contains themes of yandere behavior, stalking, obsession, manipulation, violence, or harm to others, parasocial relationships, graphic depictions of violence, murder, blood, gore, topics of child abuse, emotional neglect, and parental control. Minors are strictly forbidden to play or interact with this game because this is not age appropriate. The creator condemns these things and acknowledges they are not appropriate for minors. So please, if you're not a minor, leave. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not a huge fan of warning screens that don't have a click to continue. I always think they should have a click to continue, okay? But it's still good. You didn't see my wallpaper, okay? You didn't see nothing. I'm not a minor, that's Geb's job. No, Geb's job is to be a Minecraft streamer. Duh. Okay, to get back to it's a long intro, my bad. It's just a pet peeve, I don't know. Anyways, are you over 18 and have read all the content warnings? I am over 18 and have read all the content warnings, and my chat has as well, unless I'm gonna kill you if you haven't. All I could hear was the steady thud of my footsteps on the pavement as I hurried to work. I really shouldn't have stayed up last night binge watching that new drama everyone was talking about on social media. Give me a second. There we go. Ugh. The plot was shitty and was only popular because of the famous actors in it, but I couldn't help getting invested. I never learned how to read. No! To the point I finished watching all the episodes. In one night. Real. Yeah, that was 100% my fault. I began to quicken my pace. Hopefully I can make it in time. I dashed through the sidewalk looking at my surroundings, and some businesses were already open. Anxiety gnawed at me as I realized I wouldn't be able to clock into work in time. Clock reference. Curse that damn series. I'm never watching bad telenovelas again. Telenovelas? Jesus. I ran with all the force in my body, praying to God that I could make it in time. Because I don't want to be late for the third time this week. As if the stars aligned in my favor, there was this unmistakable Parisian exterior, exuding that same elegance I'm familiar with. I'm almost there at the cafe. I fastened my pace so I could reach the front door fast. Finally, my hand reached the pull handle and the cold breeze of the AC hit my whole body. I was out of breath, my heart still pounding from the run, so I stopped for a second to catch my breath. I finally made it. It's a bad telenovela. What the hell? Before I could celebrate my small victory, a voice rang out which startled me. There you are. I've taken care of some prep work, so there's nothing for you to worry about. I lifted my head to see Minji, my boss. What a cutie. She's been here the longest and is also the oldest in the crew. It's always nice whenever she's on board. Everyone digs her gentle and attentive nature since when I was new on the job. She made my life way easier by teaching me the ropes and being super chill about it. She's a total sweetheart. She definitely acts like the mom of the group, always looking out for others and making sure we're all taken care of. But sometimes her constant worrying and fussing can be a bit much. It's clear she means well, though. She's just genuinely concerned for all of us. Okay, it's not yet. It's not even the guys yet. The guys aren't even here yet. Embarrassed by my current position, I immediately stood straight and fixed a couple of wrinkles on my coat. Hey now, no need to get all flustered. She let out a small chuckle, that'll sound light and reassuring. I'm just happy you made it to work safely. Go get yourself ready. Customers will start coming in any minute. I couldn't help but let out a smile. Felt good to know someone cared about me, even if it isn't family. It was a small, unexpected kindness. It made the rough start to my day feel a little better. Years ago, I moved here alone to start an independent life. My parents insisted that I stay at home until I get married, since we're doing financially well and they are fine with still supporting me. I mean, we're from a wealthy family, but I just feel guilty relying more on them so much, especially when it came to money. Sure, people wish they were born rich, imagining life would just be about buying all the best stuff money can buy. But for me, I'd rather spend less and not put that burden on my parents, even if we do have money. Growing up, everything was handed to me on a silver platter, but deep down I've always felt that it just felt better when I worked for things myself. It's a very great mindset. It just felt right. Get to achieve things through my hard work, not just instant handouts because of my parents' influence and money. Do I regret this decision? No. It's what I already set my heart in and I'm content. It did take some time to convince my parents, but in the end we found a compromise. I'll handle my groceries and other expenses while they cover my bills and even my apartment. They even wanted to buy me a whole house, but I refused. I didn't want to hassle them too much. I like this mindset to have. It's very good. You won't come out spoiled. But unfortunately, rich kid, you'll never know what it's like to be a fucking poor kid. And even the level you're at, even if you think for just a second, you're like, I'm not accepting their money willy-nilly, you always have that safety net. Your parents would never let you go really poor. Damn, shaking my head. No, nothing to be wrong about that, though. But they did get me a really nice apartment, and honestly, that's enough for me. I can see the city lights at night, and it's gorgeous. I could totally... Hello? Is everything alright? You're spacing out. Ah! I didn't realize I was spacing out. I was just having really privileged thoughts in my head. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Anyways, thanks for handling the prep work. I appreciate it. I said wholeheartedly. Of course. Go dress yourself up in the staff room. Nodding my head, I went to the staff room. When I reached the door, I knocked a few times, just to make sure I didn't walk in on anyone. Nothing. No response. I took it as a sign to enter, and I was right. It was empty. Stepping inside, I closed the door firmly behind me to change in peace before heading straight to my locker. But the moment I tried to open it, something felt off. I could easily open it when it's usually not. It's supposed to be locked. Seriously? Is my locker jammed again? Just had it fixed 2 days ago. I let out a deep sigh, frustrated. Nah, it's just the nerd I shoved in there earlier. Yeah. His name's Clock. I'll have to tell Minji to call someone to repair it again. They really need to check all these locks. Not wanting to waste time, I retrieved my apron and the rest of my uniform essentials from my backup stash. After changing, I stood in front of the mirror and tidied up my hair, carefully smoothing any loose strands. Looking neat was important. Gave customers a good impression. Minji always said the same thing. I was just about ready to leave when a thought hit me. My name tag. Turning back to the backup stash, I grabbed it quickly and clipped it on. Oh, my name is Clock. That's a really great way to put the name in. I took a sigh of relief, and before heading straight out, I clocked in. Clock in, huh? Came back to find Minji holding a bag of coffee beans. Struggling a bit with the weight, I hurried over to help her. Struggling with the weight of coffee beans? What? Those things are like... How big is the bag? No way! Thank you. Minji, you really are a princess, aren't you? A grateful smile plastered on her face. She carefully poured the beans into the dispenser, measuring the perfect amount before closing the lid. I helped her lift the bag again, setting it aside. Stepped back to give her some space as she adjusted her appearance. By the way, chat, espresso beans, if you ever... I used to be a barista myself. I used to be a barista. Man, I used to love cutting the bag open and taking a sniff. That's like one of the best smells, man. Needed to bring up the locker issue, but my hesitation must have been obvious. Minji noticed and tilted her head slightly, placing a hand on her hip. Something on your mind, just say it. She encouraged her tone soft and reassuring. Tell her about it, keep quiet. Sorry, if you hear the audio go out for like a second, my headset's broken. Of course it is. So I have to like reset the audio to stop it from like bugging out. So if you just hear it go quiet for a couple seconds, that's all it is. Tell her about it, keep quiet. Well, let's tell her about the locker. Why not? Alright, here goes. Well, my locker, it's the lock. Again. Wow, that's a good shade of blue. It's like my favorite. Again? Her eyes widened in shock. Yeah. She blinked a few times, clearly at a loss for words, before letting out a deep sigh. I'm starting to believe your locker is cursed. She teased with a small laugh, lightening the mood. Couldn't help but chuckle along with her. After a moment of thought, her eyes lit up as an idea struck her. How about this? There's an unused locker you can switch to. If your current one keeps breaking locks, it's probably best to relocate. Her practical suggestion made sense, and her calm demeanor made me feel less embarrassed about the whole situation. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. A new locker means new equipment, and fewer chances of my lock breaking again. Really? Thank you so much. I'll probably start after a shift, or if I have free time to relocate. That is completely fine by me. Hopefully that'll do it. I'll get that locker checked for sure. The gentle chime of the front doorbell echoed through the cafe. Oh, customers are coming in, so we need to go. Sam will be here during the night shift this Saturday, but don't worry, I'll help you. Sam. My curiosity piqued. Oh, does she have morning and afternoon classes today? Minji nodded, confirming my guess. Wow. Respect. Juggling classes and a part-time job at a cafe. Impressive. Yes, she texted me earlier this morning to say she'll be here for the night shift instead. Looks like I'll have to wait until tonight to see her. Sunny morning had given way to a dark starlit sky. This morning had been surprisingly pleasant. No noisy customers, smooth traffic. Everything was going just right. I'm going to turn it up like a tiny little bit. There we go. The front bell chimed again, and in walked a familiar figure, petite, bundled up in her coat, her presence lighting up the room. It was Sam. She adjusted her coat before glancing around, and when her eyes landed on me, I raised a small hand in greeting. A smile tugged at her lips as she quickly made her way over. Clock, do I have news for you? Oh, let me get into my uniform and clock in real quick. Nice. I love the usage of clocking in. It's good. I don't know why, but it's great. Without waiting for a reply, she disappeared into the staff room. That's Sam, always full of energy and excitement. She's a part-timer here, juggling shifts with her college classes as she works toward her English degree. But beyond work, there's one thing that truly brings us together. Lux. What? Lux is the boy group right now. A multinational trio under Aurora Rising Records. They debuted on February 16th, dropping a full album that catapulted them into global stardom overnight. Their harmonies, charisma, and insane stage presence made them impossible to ignore. Sam and I were obsessed. 2 peas in a pod. Whether it's music videos, interviews, or rare behind-the-scenes clips, we're always updating each other on the latest news about the group. Wow, she's really pretty too. What the hell? This artist is so freaking talented. As Sam emerged from the staff room in her uniform, her excitement was palpable. You're not going to believe what I found out today. And just like that, another night shift became a deep dive into our shared obsession. How late does this cafe open till? What? There were no customers at the moment, making it the perfect time for a chat. Sam and I leaned casually against one of the counters. So, hit me up. Just wait until you see the boys chat. I said with a smirk. She hummed thoughtfully before breaking into a mischievous grin. Gladly. After clearing her throat dramatically, she leaned in, her voice dropping conspiratorially. Remember when they filmed Golden Rays? Especially that one scene on the beach where Min is sitting alone? I nodded. That was one of Lux's most iconic moments, but what stuck with me was the behind-the-scenes chaos. The story of the woman who'd pretended to be staff to get closer to the members. Uh-huh, I remember. What happened this time? Sam's eyes lit up. Well, it turns out she's still at it. The same woman showed up during their shoot last week for that new campaign. This time, she had a fake pass and everything, like full-on laminated and all. Oh my god, I blinked. You're kidding. Wish I was. She tried sneaking in again, but security caught her before she even got close. Apparently she started screaming about how Min belongs to her. Oh man, we love our stalkers. I cringed. Ugh, these types. Why are they always so extra? Is that how we talk about stalkers nowadays? Is that how we feel? But get this, she didn't stop there. When they kicked her out, she camped outside the set with a giant sign that said, Minoru, I'm your destiny. I couldn't help but snort. Wow, that's dedication in the worst way possible. Exactly. Poor Min looked so done with life when someone told him about it. Like, this guy just wants to work and vibe, and here she is acting like a wannabe K-drama villain. I shook my head, my amusement fading into concern. I mean, this is funny in hindsight, but it's also scary. These people are getting way too bold. I know, right? It's not just annoying. It's dangerous. Okay, here we go. That's the part of the conversation that matters. Don't stalk people, chat. It's not cool. Meet people organically, okay? No parasocial feelings. What if she'd gotten close to him, or worse, hurt him? I crossed my arms. It's wild. They have all this security, but I can't help worrying about how much they have to deal with. No one should have to feel unsafe at their job. Sam nodded in agreement. QPC! QPC! You're not allowed to be parasocial. It's a known fact that these so-called fans are crazy rich, bribing staff members, slipping into events. It's almost like a game to them. I frowned, feeling a mix of frustration and disgust. The fact that money can make it so easy for them to pull stunts like this is sickening. It's not just about being obnoxious anymore. It's straight up endangering the idol's safety. I was talking. You should. I'll see you later, okay? And some staff, they're not exactly angels either. I mean, I get it. Low pay, long hours, but taking bribes from these people, it's not just unprofessional, it's dangerous. Crossed my arms, the thought making my stomach turn. Yeah, it's not like these fans are subtle about it. Flash a little cash and suddenly they're backstage or near the members' dressing rooms. How does that even happen? It happens because no one's willing to enforce boundaries properly. Sometimes I wonder if these companies are too focused on profits to care. Well, it's not the company that's doing that. That's just regular ass, like, that's just like the backstage manager going like, oh, yeah, I'll take an extra $100. You can get in there. I'm sure the boys won't mind. The boys will mind. Like, yeah, they invest in security, but it feels reactive, not proactive. It is. I sighed. The idols are the ones who have to suffer from it. Imagine constantly having to look over your shoulder or not knowing if the person handing you water is actually supposed to be there. That's so You're like, thanks for the water. Just starts chugging it. Who are you, by the way? Keeps chugging water. Right? It's heartbreaking. It's not just physical safety, it's mental too. How do you stay sane when people treat you like a commodity instead of a human being? Her voice softened as she added, I've seen fan cams where the members are smiling on stage, but their eyes look tired, you know? Like this constant pressure is eating away at them. I mean, kind of is. I nodded, my mind flashing to Min, the quiet strength of the group. I feel like Min especially would hate this kind of thing. He seems like someone who values his personal space. Stuff like this would mess with anyone. Yeah. yeah, it's like that's what you signed up for. You signed up for crazy stalkers. You signed up for this person to do whatever it takes to meet you and look at you and talk to you. You signed up for No, nobody signs up for this stuff, okay? People have dreams. That's not a part of the dream, okay? I really hope. For 99% of, like, people, like, who go famous, their dream is not to be stalked by fans. It's just to make a living doing what they love. Exactly. It's so unfair. And it's not just him. All three of them probably deal with it in their own way, but they shouldn't have to. Fans like this ruin it for everyone else. Unless it is... Okay. Octo! Yeah, actually, chat. Actually, I'm talking about someone completely different. You, personally, I'm talking to you on the other side of the screen right now. Yeah, your favorite celebrity influencer, they're actually wanting you to go stalk them. They're waiting right now at this moment for you to go meet them, okay? Then all your dreams will come true. I swear to God, okay? Just for you, though. Just for you. Just your situation, okay? Nobody else's. Oh my God, I can hear that. The weight of her words settled over us, and I found myself clenching my fists. Yippee Niall Horan. Whore. I'm gonna keep saying his name wrong, by the way. I just hope management starts taking this stuff more seriously. No amount of money is worth their safety. tell me about it, but they unfortunately live off of this. These stunts give them cash if they feed off the delusional fans. I nodded my mind, drifting to Lux as a whole. I hate it. There's someone in the YouTube comments right now. Clock! That's my favorite One Direction member! His name is Niall! Sorry. That was my jingle jangle jingle. Yeah, it's scary to think about. They're just people trying to do what they love, but some fans forget that. I hope their management steps up and keeps them safe. I'm content just living in his basement. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Me too. I don't care how many layers of security they need. Whatever it takes to protect them, I'm all for it. Yeah, girly. Anyways, I'm about to go see one of those boys right now. I'm gonna hop their fence. The conversation hung in the air, a heavy reminder of the darker side of fame. For all the joy Lux brought to their fans, the price they paid for it often felt far too high. To lighten up the mood, Aurora Rising Records actually did a complete staff overhaul. They replaced the old team with new members and tightened their security. That was fast. Honestly, that's impressive how they managed to pull it off in such a short amount of time. Sam's face lit up in excitement. Exactly. Something similar happened in the past and they did a staff overhaul then too. CEO is always extra careful when it comes to Lux's safety. I raised an eyebrow. No, why is that? Well, for starters, he's super protective of them. It's not just about their careers, it's personal. It's his money. Those are his money makers. There's this rumor that he sees them as more than just artists under his label. Like he genuinely cares about their well-being. Oh, he's daddy. Oh. I nodded thoughtfully. That's rare in this industry. Usually it's all about profits. Word is, when Lux debuted, he made it clear that their safety and happiness were top priorities. That's why he doesn't hesitate to make big decisions, like replacing staff or beefing up security, if there's even the slightest hint of trouble. Hi, Phantom Sunreal. Honestly, good for him. The guys deserve to feel safe while doing what they love. Exactly. It's one of the reasons Lux's state's so strong. They know they have someone in the corner who's got their backs no matter what. But enough of that. Let's move on to the other members. Have you seen Oriel's cat? Honestly, you've got my attention. I'm way more interested in the cat. Her voice echoed across the cafe, causing me to jump. Sam, shush! Wait 1 second. Goes quiet for a second. I hissed, glancing around nervously. Realizing her volume, she covered her mouth with both hands, her eyes darting to the empty tables. Luckily, there were no customers around to hear her outburst. She let out a sheepish laugh, tucking in her hands into her pockets. Sorry, I just couldn't contain my excitement. I rolled my eyes, but I couldn't help smirking. Too much yapping? I'm a little surprised. They're talking about security a lot. Hot topic, I guess. You know how I get when it comes to Oriel. Oh, he's my bias. Oh, right. Sam's bias in Lux is Oriel, the leader of the group. Honestly, I could see why she's so head over heels for him. Summary? All that's happened is we went to work at a cafe and we're talking about our favorite boy band who has, they have security issues. Okay, I'll bite. Why Oriel, though? Sam's face lit up like a kid in a candy store. Oh, and this is our coworker, Sam. Where do I even start? Who loves the boy band as well? First off, have you seen him? He's like the perfect mix of handsome and approachable. But it's not just about his looks. He's got this presence, you know? Like, when he's on stage, you can't take your eyes off of him. I nodded, knowing exactly what she meant. Yeah, I've noticed. He's got that charisma that makes everything he does look effortless. Exactly. Don't even get me started on his personality. He's so down-to-earth, funny, and just real. He's not like one of those Yandere visual novel game protagonists. Ugh. Love interests. Ugh. He's the kind of guy who can make you laugh until your sides hurt, and then turn around and give the most heartfelt speech that makes you cry. She paused for breath, her excitement bubbling over. He cares so much for the other members. Have you seen how he looks out for them? Like when Min was sick during that fan meet, Oriel literally rearranged the entire schedule so Minoru could rest. Who does that? Her voice softened as she continued. It's not just his leadership skills, though. He's so insanely talented. He can sing, write, dance, compose, and his songs always hit the top of the charts. He's won so many awards, it's ridiculous. I chuckled. Wow, she really likes him, huh? He's the total package, then. He really is, but what I love most about him is how he stays humble through it all. A Yandere. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Even after everything Lux has accomplished, he always gives credit to his members, the staff, and the fans. He's just inspiring. Her eyes sparkled with admiration, and I couldn't help but smile. Alright, I get it. Iran's the best. You're damn right he is. She giggled, pausing mid-laugh as her eyes lit up with curiosity, sparkles practically dancing in her gaze. She leaned in closer, the sudden proximity making me flinch slightly. Hey, I just realized! I never knew your bias before. That's not fair when you already know mine. I blinked, caught off guard. Oh, yeah, she's got a point. Despite only knowing each other for 2 weeks, most of our conversations had been all about her interests and excitement. Hadn't shared much about myself at all. My cheeks warmed, a blush creeping in as I realized how one-sided things had been. How silly of me. Should I tell her? I'm super embarrassed, honestly. He's kind of overrated, and what if she judges me? I'll tell her. What the hell, man? She's one of the girlies. She gotta know my love interest, right, Chad? Chad, you gotta tell the bestie. You gotta tell her exactly who you love. Spill the beans. Beans, what the fuck? Well, you already know there's 3 of them. I stammered, trying to buy some time. What if it's the ultimate answer and you just say all 3? Uh-huh. She replied, her gaze narrowing in deep focus, clearly hanging on to every word of my response. Yeah, it's a coffee joke. Felt my palms grow a little sweaty under her intense scrutiny. I mean, Ryle's cool. Same with Min, but... Before I could finish, her hand shot out, covering my mouth as she gasped dramatically. Don't tell me Kier is your bias. Kier? Like Pier? Her voice was half accusatory, half excited, like she just uncovered a scandalous secret. My muffled protests behind her hand made her grin wider. She leaned back slightly, removing her hand with a knowing look. I knew it. You've got that look about you. Totally a Kier fan. Am I right? Huh? Huh? I sighed, defeated, as she wiggled her eyebrows playfully. Okay, fine. Yes, it's Kier. Happy now. Huh, I knew it. I can spot a Kier stand from a mile away. Now it's my turn. What's the deal about Kier, The so-called cold-look moon prince. Her teasing tone made my cheeks flush even more. I tried to compose myself, but the way she leaned in expectantly didn't help. Kier? I like Kier better. I started, fumbling for words. Kier? Oh, Kier might be it, but... I'm calling him Kier. He's, I avoided her gaze, my fingers nervously fiddling with the hem of my apron. Well, first of all, he's Kier. Like, have you seen him? Uh-huh, the visual of the century, as the fans call him. But looks aren't everything, right? Or are they? I shot her a small glare, but the heat in my face gave away my embarrassment. It's not just his looks. Sure, he's ridiculously good-looking, but there's so much more to him. It's like he's a person. Sam smirked knowingly. Go on. I sighed, feeling my heart race as I thought about him. Okay, so he's an insane vocalist. Even critics say so. The way he hits those notes. It's like he's pouring his entire soul into every song. There's this raw passion in his voice that just, I don't know, gives me chills. Oh, someone's swooning. Shut up. I muttered, hiding my face in my hands before continuing. It's not just his voice, though. He's got this deep passion for art and music. Did you know he's the one who designed the concept for their last album? He's so talented, it's unreal. It's like everything he touches turns into something. Beautiful. So basically, he's perfect. I hesitated, biting my lips as I mumbled. Well, he kinda is, at least to me. Sam's eyes widened with mock surprise. Oh my gosh, you're totally in love with him. What? I practically jumped, my face now fully red. No, I'm not parasocial. I'm not, it's not like that. I just admire him as a fan. She burst out laughing, and I groaned, burying my face in my hands again. It's just... I don't know how to explain it, but I want him in my basement. But there's something about his voice. Feels familiar. Like I've heard it somewhere before. It's comforting, even when it's just through my headphones. Sam tilted her head, intrigued. Huh, that's kind of deep. Do you think maybe it reminds you of something from your past? I'm not sure. Maybe a childhood friend. I admitted, softly, twiddling my thumbs. But I can't deny he's basically a perfect match for my type. It's embarrassing to admit, but it's true. He's got that whole reserved, mysterious vibe, but you can tell there's so much more to him if you really look. Aw, how cute. Kier's basically your dream guy, huh? I let out a small, frustrated whine. Stop teasing me! Sam chuckled, holding up her hands in surrender. Alright, I'll stop for now. But you better believe I'm not letting this go anytime soon. I slumped onto the counter, utterly defeated but unable to stop the small smile forming on my lips. Looks like you two are having fun. Ah! Eek! Sam and I shrieked in unison, whipping around to see Minji standing there with an amused look on her face. In her surprise, Sam stumbled backwards, smacking her hip against the corner of the counter before losing her balance. Sam! I yelped, reaching out, but Minji was faster. She caught Sam by the arm just in time, steadying her before she could hit the floor. Sam stood upright, rubbing the spot where she bumped into herself. Ow, jeez, boss, you scared the life out of me. Ask away, my friend. Once the initial shock wore off, the three of us burst into laughter, the tension melting away. You got us good, boss. Sorry for slacking off and being too loud. She added, sheepishly scratching the back of her head. Minji waved her hand dismissively, her soft smile reassuring. It's fine, there are no customers yet anyway, but I actually came here to ask for some help. Sam and I exchanged curious glances before turning back to Minji, intrigued. What kind of help? Without answering, Minji gestured for us to follow her. We trailed after her as she led us through the cafe and into the storage room. Oh my god, that's a big storage room. The air grew colder as we stepped inside, surrounded by shelves stacked with boxes of supplies and ingredients. Apparently, books, binder is on the left. I'm assuming it's just a stock image. By the way, developers, this is a good point to mention. These are not obviously drawn backgrounds. They're probably stock images for free that the developer found. Do this if you do not want to or cannot draw your backgrounds. Stock images. They're great. They're free. A lot of them. And they work really well. Okay? Don't ever use AI. Anyways. Minji stopped near a row of stacked crates and turned to us. Phantom Summer, you can just ask. You don't have to ask. We've got a delivery coming in soon, but before that, I need help organizing... Oh, wait, whoops. I need help organizing these. Some of the older inventory got mixed in with new stock. Sam crossed her arms, surveying the disorganized boxes. Oof, this is gonna take a while, isn't it? Minji chuckled. Not if we work together. Besides, it's a slow evening, so now's the perfect time to get it done. What's the cat for? Oh, that's just chat. That's just Chat Cat. That's you. That is our Chat Cat mascot, basically. Chat Cat is just basically chat. That's all the cat is. It's just you. It's just the representative for you guys. So it's you. His official name is a Clockwork Conductor Cat. You know. But we just call him Chat Cat for short. Now, if we work together, besides, it's a slow evening, so now's the perfect time to get it done. Sam and I nodded in agreement, rolling up our sleeves. It looked like we'd be spending some quality time in the storage room. After finishing the last round of cleaning and organizing, the three of us stood by the door, each carrying a lingering sense of satisfaction from the day's work. Minji secured the lock with a soft click, signaling the official end of our shift. The quiet streets greeted us with a gentle breeze as we stepped outside, the glow of streetlights reflecting on the pavement. Sam stretched her arms over her head, letting out a content sigh while I adjusted my bag over my shoulder. Minji gave us a small wave before heading into the opposite direction, her figure disappearing into the evening haze. Sam and I exchanged a tired but pleased look before we began walking down the familiar path home, the warmth of camaraderie still lingering even as the day came to a close. We're in freaking Europe. Oh my god, this street is hell, man. We're in Europe. The more I walked, the stronger the feeling grew. Like someone was watching me. Blech. one-way roads, man. Made my skin crawl. I spun around quickly, but there was no one. My grip tightened on my bag as the uneasy feeling clings to me, refusing to let go. Sweat started dripping down my forehead. I needed to get out of here. Fast. My footsteps picked up speed, each step louder than the last, as I focused on getting to my apartment complex as quickly as possible. My heart was pounding, and adrenaline surged through me as I took turn after turn navigating the familiar streets. Finally, I spotted the building in the distance. Squinting, I could make out the security guard standing at the large glass doors. He must have noticed my panic expression because as I jogged closer, his posture straightened like he immediately understood something was off. As soon as I stepped onto the tiled entryway, he opened the door without hesitation. I gave him a quick bow of thanks, still catching my breath. Gave me a brief nod, silently acknowledging me, then motioned me inside. Without wasting another second, I hurried to the elevator, my focus set on the safety of my apartment. I could hear him take out his walkie-talkie and mumbled something, probably to the other security guards nearby to be on high alert. The elevator doors slid open with a soft chime, and I stepped in, jabbing the button for my floor. The moment the doors closed, I let out a shaky breath. My reflection in the polished steel walls showed the toll the night had taken. Messy hair, wide eyes, and a face glistening with sweat. I leaned against the cool metal wall, trying to calm my racing heart. What was that? Why did I feel like someone was following me? The uneasiness hadn't fully left, even now, as the elevator hums softly on its way up. When the doors opened again, I hurried down the hallway to my apartment, fumbling for my keys. My hands were trembling, and it took me a moment to fit the key into the lock. I glanced over my shoulder, half expecting to see someone standing there, but the hallway was empty and silent. Finally, the lock clicked, and I pushed the door open, stepping into the familiar warmth of my home. Man, stuff like that is like, I wish more guys would read stories like that. That's like something that like a guy will just never understand unless he like sits down and really listens to a woman. And he won't like understand, but you can build some empathy. There's so many guys who take for granted that we can just go outside, walk in the middle of the night, and that just will never happen to us. Like, I used to do it all the time in high school, and I never thought for once. Like, obviously, as a guy, most guys know that, like, girls shouldn't be, like, out alone walking at night, but they don't really get it, you know? They don't really get it that, like, they're just gonna get stalked, you know? Wanted to sell you something. Chocolate! I shut the door behind me and locked it, double-checking that the bolt was secure. Only then did I let myself breathe, leaning against this door as my bag slid off my shoulder and hit the floor. Oh no! He wanted to sell me a ticket to Sunny Shore Resort, didn't he? The silence in my apartment was deafening. Normally, it felt comforting, but tonight it made my skin crawl. I flipped on the lights, the sudden brightness chasing away the shadows, and walked to the window. Pulling the curtains aside, I scanned the street below, looking for something. Someone. Nothing. Just the quiet streetlights and the occasional car passing by. Still, that feeling lingered like an itch I couldn't scratch. I forced myself to move away from the window and head to the kitchen. A glass of water, decided would help settle my nerves. After finishing my glass of water, I set it down on the counter, the quiet clink breaking the uneasy silence that had settled over the apartment. I rubbed my temples, trying to shake off the lingering tension from earlier, and made my way toward my bedroom. As I reached the doorway, something felt off. He was wearing a long jacket full of clocks to sell. What are you trying to say? The hell? The door was slightly ajar, swinging open with just the faintest push of my hand. Oh god, girl, get out of there. Just turn around. My stomach tightened. I never leave my bedroom door like that. Did I forget to close it this morning? Go for the knife. Go for the knife in the kitchen. I tried to rationalize it, the memory of rushing to get to work flashing through my mind. I had been running late, my bag half packed as I dashed out the door. Maybe I just left it open in the chaos. But still something didn't sit right. You went in? I stood there for a moment, staring into the shadowed bedroom. The dim glow of the hallway light spilled in, casting faint streaks across the floor. Everything looked normal. My bed was unmade, the laundry basket still overflowing in the corner. The faint outline of my work desk sat against the far wall. What's in the closet? But that uneasy feeling crept back in, slithering up my spine. My eyes darted to the window. It was closed, curtains drawn tight. My gaze flicked to the closet. The door was shut as it should be. It's fine, I told myself. I'm just paranoid after what happened earlier. The guy standing in the behind the curtain. Yeah, everything's fine. Come on in. Still, I couldn't shake the sense that something was out of place, like the air in the room was heavier than usual. I hesitated before stepping inside, my hand brushing against the door frame as I flicked on the light. The soft glow illuminated the room, washing away the shadows. I took a deep breath and walked towards my bed, tossing my bag onto the mattress. As I sat down to unlace my shoes, I glanced around the room again, trying to spot anything unusual. Everything seemed fine, but that didn't explain why my door had been left open, why it suddenly felt like I wasn't alone. Everything's okay, just go to sleep already, bitch, the guy in the closet yells. Shaking off the strange feeling, I decided a hot shower might help clear my head. The worst possible thing you could do! Please. If you think something's wrong, it probably is. Call over your best guy friend, okay? Or the security that works in the building. Just call someone, okay? And go to the kitchen and get a weapon, okay? If you think something's wrong, you're not overreacting, okay? Even if it turns out to be nothing, trust me, if it isn't, you'll be thankful. I grabbed a towel from the closet and headed to the bathroom, flicking on light. Unless your one dream is to be the victim in a horror movie, don't take a shower, okay? But if you want to be in one of those cheesy 80s horror movies, then yeah, this is what you should do, actually. I grabbed the towel from the closet and headed to the bathroom, flicking on the light. Call your dad or something. I don't know, okay? Should I be bald? Yes. The soft hum of the exhaust fan filled the space as I turned on the water, letting it run until steam began to fog up the mirror. The warmth of the shower was a welcome relief, washing away the tension that had clung to me since my walk home. Closed my eyes, letting the water cascade over my shoulders, and took a deep breath. For the first time that evening, I started to feel like myself again. Once I finished, I wrapped myself in the towel and stepped out, wiping a hand across the fogged-up mirror. My reflection stared back at me, pale and tired, but at least I didn't look as frazzled as I had earlier. Made my way to my bedroom, the soft carpet squishing under my bare feet, and rummaged through my dresser for a pair of pajamas. Slipping into the familiar comfort of an oversized shirt and loose pants, I felt a bit more at ease. Tension in my shoulders eased as I moved to sit on the edge of my bed, running a hand through my damp hair. The routine of getting ready for the night felt grounding, like a reminder that everything was fine. I collapsed onto my bed, sinking into the soft embrace of my coziest sheets. Wow, this detergent strongly smells of amber. I yawned. Day's tension seemed to melt away, and as I nestled deeper into the warmth, my eyelids grew heavier with each passing second. Nothing happened? Bro, someone stole our underwear, for sure. The morning rush was already in full swing, the quiet of dawn replaced by the steady rhythm of the cafe. Sam stood beside me at the counter, her cheerful voice cutting through the low murmur of conversation as she greeted customers with her usual enthusiasm. Good morning. Welcome to CMUG. What can I get started for you? She chimed, her bright smile infectious. I worked quickly beside her, pulling espresso shots and steaming milk, the comforting sounds of the coffee machines filling the air. Is it really that comforting? Chat, if you've never heard of the sound of steaming milk, it sounds a bit like this. Like, it sounds like... It sounds like that a little bit. I guess that can be comforting to someone out there. The scent of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the warm, buttery aroma of pastries from the display case. The line moved steadily, orders flying between us as we worked in sync. Sam passed me cups to fill while I slid completed orders across the counter with practiced ease. Americano and an almond croissant for takeout. Sorry, croissant. I called out, glancing at Sam as she handed the customer the receipt with a cheerful smile. Thank you. Have a great day. Moments like these were chaotic, but oddly satisfying. The constant rhythm of taking orders, making drinks, and exchanging brief smiles and pleasantries felt like the heartbeat of the cafe. It was a rhythm we knew well. This morning is going to be a busy one for sure. After what felt like hours of non-stop orders and clinking cups, the cafe finally settled into a peaceful lull. bustling morning crowd had dwindled, leaving only a handful of customers scattered across the tables, quietly enjoying their coffee and pastries. I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing better than a cafe that's got pastries and good lattes. Oh, cappuccino! By the way, if you order Americano, you should go to jail, okay? Because Americanos are disgusting. The hum of conversation was low and soothing, now blending with the faint background music playing overhead. If you want an Americano, just get a 4-shot espresso. Just get a double. If you want, I don't know, man. Just stop mixing water. Just stop mixing water with your espresso, bro. Just take your espresso shots like a man. Sam and I found ourselves back at our usual spot behind the counter, leaning against it as we let out synchronized sighs of relief. She stretched her arms above her head, letting out a small groan before flashing me a grin. What the fuck? I take different kind of shots like a man. Alcohol. No, I think you take cum shots. Anyways, finally, a breather. She's muttered, brushing a few strands of hair out of her face. That's you. I nodded, my hands wrapped around a warm mug of coffee I'd quickly made for myself during the downtime. This is our favorite part of the day. The calm between the rushes, when we could relax and chat without interruption. Wow. We suck at working. There are coffee pots to clean. There is counters to wipe. There is tables to clean and cut down on, okay? There are so many things we could be doing. Sam propped her elbows on the counter, her chin resting in her palms as she looked at the remaining customers. A couple near the window shared quiet laughter over their pastries, and an older man flipped through the newspaper with a half-empty cappuccino beside him. Be as unproductive as you can. You should be as unproductive as you can if you work for a company. But if you work for just a little kind old lady, you should be kind to that old lady, okay? She's paying you out of pocket. But if you're working for like Walmart or some shit or McDonald's, man, if you're working for McDick's, fuck it, dude. Be as unproductive as possible, okay? You know, Sam began, her voice a little softer now. I always wondered what it'd be like to be one of them, just sitting here relaxing instead of running around making drinks all day. Give food to the rat? What do you mean? What? What is this? Dead plate. I chuckled, taking a sip of my coffee. You get bored in 5 minutes. You love the chaos too much. She tilted her head in mock offense, but her grin gave her away. Okay, fair, but you have to admit, they make it look nice and easy. I shrugged, setting my mug down. Maybe. But where's the fun and easy? You get more stories from behind the counter. Sam laughed at that, nodding in agreement. True, true. Speaking of stories... She leaned in closer, her voice dropping conspiratorially. Guess who just messaged me last night? I raised an eyebrow, intrigued, but already bracing myself for one of her dramatic reveals. Who? She smirked, glancing around like she was about to share the world's biggest secret. A friend of a friend who met Lux backstage yesterday. My eyes widened, and I leaned in as well, the mundane morning suddenly a lot more interesting. No way! You're lying. Swear on my coffee addiction. Holding up 3 fingers in a mock scout's pledge. I got details you're gonna want to hear. Sam's eyes sparkled with excitement as she dropped her voice even lower, making me lean in further to catch her words. So, apparently, she began drawing out the suspense. This friend of a friend who was working security at an event where Lux performed? Backstage, Kier was, let's just say, not as cold as everyone thinks he is. My heart skipped a beat. Wait, what do you mean? She smirked knowingly, clearly enjoying how invested I was. I mean, he wasn't the untouchable, cold-look moon prince. He was joking around with the crew and even helped them carry some equipment. Can you imagine Kier doing something so normal? Like he was an actual person? I blinked, trying to picture it. Kier, the elegant, ethereal visual of Lux hauling equipment. It was almost too surreal to believe. That's not all. Sam continued, her tone growing even more conspiratorial. I wonder what it would be like to experience that. Especially what Sam just talked about, joking around, seeing his smile, and most importantly, hearing his laughter. Oh, you're totally smitten, she teased, her grin widening. You've got that dreamy look on your face right now. Don't even try to deny it. Shook my head trying to play it off. I'm not smitten, I just think it's nice, that's all. Uh-huh, sure. Dragging out the words in a tone dripping with sarcasm. You're practically writing his fan club manifesto in your head. It's... Sorry, 1 second. I laughed, shoving her lightly. Stop it, Sam. You're being ridiculous. She smirked, leaning back. Fuck, do you play sports? Nah, I work a job and I do this. I have no free time. I used to do boxing and I used to do a little bit of basketball too. Ridiculous or accurate? Because honestly, it's cute how you light up whenever someone mentions Kier. This is my hobby, so I don't really have time for more hobbies other than private gaming. But I used to play basketball in high school. It was fun. And I used to do soccer in elementary too. It's like a switch flips and suddenly you're all soft and glowy. And boxing was a really big part of my life. At least in high school to university. Felt the heat rising to my cheeks and quickly turned my attention to the customers, pretending to be busy. You're imagining things. Keep telling yourself that. Her tone smug, still not convinced. But if you ever met him, I'm going to remind you of this conversation. The thought of actually meeting Kier sent a wave of nervous excitement through me, but I shook it off. Like that would ever happen. Sam just shrugged and a mischievous glint in her eye. You never know. The world works in mysterious ways. And despite myself, I couldn't help but hope she was right. Mysterious ways. Fanfic updated! Speaking of mysterious ways, I wonder how he's doing. It's been a while since I've last seen him. Last time we saw each other was in 10th grade. That was it. My playdate as a toddler and my only best friend in the world. Super cool, my BFF. Keithan Nimcats. Keithan. Damn. I'd kill my mom if she was like, Ethan's too basic. I'm gonna put a K at the start. Sam's voice faded into the background as my thoughts drifted. Keithan. The name brought with it a flood of memories, vivid and bittersweet. We'd been inseparable as kids, climbing trees, trading secrets, and planning out the grand futures we thought we'd have. What the fuck am I? Caillou? Why am I bald? Like him being a superhero named Magma Boy. Oh my god, am I Shark Girl? Let's be honest, superheroes don't exist, but it was fun role-playing as heroes when we were kids. I could still picture his goofy grin, the way his dark hair always fell into his eyes no matter how many times he tried to fix it. But life had its way of pulling people apart. He moved away in the middle of 10th grade. And after that, we just lost touch. A few texts here and there, a half-hearted promise to visit, but nothing that stuck. The only way I got to know about his whereabouts was from his mother, who I'm still very close to. And yet I couldn't help but wonder about him sometimes. Was he still the same? Had life been kind to him? Did he ever think about those days the way I did? Sam snapped her fingers in front of my face, breaking my reverie. What's your IP address? Oh yeah, sure, it's 1.1. My music taste? I would say ultimately I enjoy alternative rock. Hello, Earth the Daydreamer. You totally zoned out. What's on your mind? I blinked, shaking my head. Nothing, just thinking about someone I used to know. Ooh, do tell. I hesitated, a small smile tugging at my lips. It's not a big deal, just this guy I used to be really close with, Keithan. Yeah, chat doesn't like... I say alternative rock, and I do like a lot of alternative... Right now, I'm really into, Midwest emo, like, music. A lot of people don't like that stuff, and that's fine. But you're wrong, because it's fire. We haven't talked in years, but he was my best friend growing up. Sam's eyes lit up with curiosity. Your best friend, huh? Is this one of those childhood friends turned lovers stories waiting to happen? I rolled my eyes, laughing. No, Sam, it's not like that. He's just important to me. Bites the dust, though. Yeah, I do know Queen. Probably one of the most famous bands of all time. Freddie Mercury? Anybody? Yeah, I know Queen. They're awesome, by the way. I like Queen. I used to listen to them all the time when I was younger. Like the kind of person who made everything better just by being there. And you let him slip away. Tisk tisk, that's tragic. I shrugged, though the ache in my chest said otherwise. Life happens. People grow apart. Sam leaned back, a thoughtful look on her face. You ever thought about reaching out? Maybe the universe isn't done with you two yet. I glanced down at my phone, my thumb hovering over the screen. Reach out. After all this time? I like how you're just making JoJo's references. There are a few JoJo's references, aren't there? I mean, I still have his number. But he's in another country, probably asleep. The idea seemed both ridiculous and tempting, and I wasn't sure which feeling would win. I mean, it's a good idea, but he's in another country. Time zones and all. Plus, he's probably really busy. I don't want to be a bother. I responded to Sam's suggestion with a small shake of my head. She frowned slightly, but nodded, respecting my choice. Oh, I get it. But seriously, you should think about it. I don't know him, but it's obvious he meant a lot to you. Her smile was warm, and I couldn't help but smile back. Sam had a way of being encouraged without being pushed too hard. Always a sweetheart. Are we texting exes? We're gonna text our ex, and we almost got stalked. We're pretty sure someone broke into our house and stole our underwear. Before I could say anything else, a deep voice interrupted. Excuse me. Sorry, but I'd like to order something if that's no trouble. Both of us jumped slightly, startled by the man standing nearby. He looked amused, clearly unsure if he should have spoken up or waited longer. I let out a nervous laugh, smoothing my apron as I quickly stepped forward. Oh, welcome to C-Mug. Sorry about that. What can I get for you? Sam stayed back, watching me as I effortlessly shifted into my friendly, professional demeanor. Haha, no worries. I'll take a latte. Maybe a welcome back hug from the barista. I froze mid-step, my hand hovering over the register. Pause, champ? For a moment, I thought it had to be a prank or a case of mistaken identity. But the playful tone in his voice tugged at something familiar. I let out a small chuckle, trying to play it cool. Sir, I think you've got the wrong person. Then I looked up, and my breath hitched. Standing in front of me, with the same mischievous grin I hadn't seen in years, was him. So, no welcome back hug included. My jaw dropped. Keithan! My voice was so loud, which startled not only him, but everyone in the cafe. I gave out an embarrassed smile and apologized to everyone. His grin widened as he leaned casually on the counter. The one and only. Surprised to see me. Couldn't believe my eyes. After all this time, there he was. Damn blue hair and pronouns! Now we're talking. After all this time, there he was, standing right in front of me like no time had passed at all. What? You're back? My words came out as a stammered mess. Wait, is this Queen Puppy Cat's type? Keithan's golden eyes looked away from mine, blush forming on his cheeks. Sorry, I got excited and wanted to beat my mom at telling you the news first, then surprise you at work. But hey, what do you look like? Why do you look like you're not happy to see me? He pulled a fake frown, one he'd perfected even as a kid. Now that I thought about it, he looked so different. His outfit was more casual, relaxed, like he was finally comfortable in his own skin. His midnight blue hair was fluffier than I remembered, and most strikingly of all, his height and overall build. What on earth had they been feeding him in the States? And had he started working out? Keithan must have noticed me staring because he raised an eyebrow, his grin widening. Keithan leaned against the counter with that familiar smirk. I'm gonna bet you're thinking I look really handsome right now, eh? Eh? I couldn't help but laugh. In your dreams, Keithan. His grin widened, but I softened my tone. Come on, let's take this somewhere else. I need to let my coworker and boss know first, okay? Keithan blinked, his eyes widening as if he just realized we were still standing in the middle of my workplace. He rubbed the back of his neck, letting out a sheepish grin. Oh, right. I forgot we were still here. My bad. I'll wait for you outside, yeah? Of course. I replied with a small smile. I'll even get started with your order. His eyes lit up, practically sparkling. Is the welcome No. He let out a dramatic whine, but the grin never left his face. I was just joking. Let's do a little save. We'll come back to this. Tease him. We love teasing. I shook my head, trying to stifle a laugh of my own. Maybe I should tease him back. Turn the tables on this confident, cheeky guy. Oh, that was a joke. Damn, that no was actually a lie, and I really intended on hugging you. The look on his face was priceless. Oh, how the turntables. His cheeks reddened and he leaned in closer. Wait, I actually take that back. Couldn't help but laugh at his flustered reaction. A sudden shift in his confidence making the moment all the more amusing. You can't take it back now. I teased, leaning in slightly myself. I mean, you were so sure of yourself a second ago. His hands flew up in mock surrender, his cheeks still tinged with pink. Alright, truce. You win this round. I leaned back, crossing my arms with a satisfied smirk. Truce! Already! Thought you'd put up more of a fight. He rubbed the back of his neck, the redness in his cheeks deepening as he avoided my gaze. Hey, even I have my limits, alright. You caught me off guard. I raised an eyebrow, pretending to ponder. Caught you off guard. The confident, unshakable Keithan. I think I deserve a trophy for that. He finally met my eyes, his lips curling into a sheepish grin. Alright, fine. I'll admit it. You got me. But don't get used to it. I'll be ready next time. I chuckled, shaking my head. We'll see about that. For a moment, the teasing stopped, and a comfortable silence settled between us. His grin softened, and there was a glimmer of something warmer in his gaze. Even after all these years, you're pretty fun to talk to, you know that? His tone quieter, more genuine. I blinked, caught off guard by the sudden shift. Thanks. You're not so bad yourself. The moment lingered, and I felt my cheeks start to heat up. Before things could get too awkward, I cleared my throat. Anyways, now take care of your order. Can you find us a spot for us to sit? I need to inform my boss first. Oh, sure. The amazing Keithan will handle that. I snorted and giggled. This doofus. Never change, Keithan. Never change. The late afternoon sun cast a golden glow over the outdoor seating area, painting everything in warm hues. I leaned back in my chair, sipping on my coffee as I studied the familiar face across from me. Keithan had barely changed. Same confident smirk, same easygoing manner. But there was something softer in his expression now, like he was genuinely relieved to be sitting here with me. Luckily, Minji agreed to let me take a break. I began setting my cup down. So, come on, spill. How have you been? When the hell did you come back from America? Keithan grinned, leaning forward on his elbows. I've been busy. Came back about a month ago, actually. Didn't tell anyone at first. Wanted to get settled before reaching out. I raised an eyebrow. You? Keeping quiet? That's new. He chuckled, scratching the back of his neck. Yeah, well, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. You know how it is. Tilted my head, giving him a knowing look. Uh-huh. And how's college life? Did you get that degree, or should I be worried? Hey, give me some credit. Shot back, mock offended. I did get it. Business management, just like I said I would. Even graduated with honors. Thank you very much. I blinked in surprise, a genuine smile spinning across my face. Wow, I'm impressed. Didn't think you'd actually survive all those all-nighters you used to complain about. Barely. He admitted with a laugh. But hey, I missed you so much I started doing things that reminded me of you. Like making your favorite snack when I was stressed. Or listening to the playlist we used to share. My chest tightened at his words, the weight of nostalgia settling over me. You really missed me that much, huh? He nodded, his expression softening. He's so down bad. Of course I did. You're not just an old friend. You're the friend. No one else gets me the way you do. I looked away, feeling a blush creep up my cheeks. Well, you're back now. Guess we've got a lot of catching up to do. Keithan smiled, the warmth in his gaze unmistakable. Yeah, we do. And I'm not going anywhere this time, so you better get used to having me around again. I rested my chin in my hand, watching Keithan recount stories of his time abroad. His words came with the usual charm, but there's something different about him. Softer edge to his tone, a lingering gaze that I didn't quite register as anything other than familiarity. You know, I said, smirking as I leaned back in my chair, I still can't believe you actually graduated with honors. What happened to the Keithan who used to convince me to procrastinate on assignments? Keithan chuckled, the sound low and genuine, and it made me feel oddly warm. He grew up, I guess. But for the record, I still believe in strategic procrastination. I just had a little voice in my head reminding me to stay on track. I raised an eyebrow. A little voice? Please don't tell me you're giving me credit for your success. His smile softened and his eyes seemed to linger on mine a moment too long. Who else would I give credit to? You've always been the one keeping me grounded, even from a distance. I'd think about what you'd say whenever I wanted to give up. I blinked, caught off guard by the sudden tenderness in his voice. I laughed awkwardly, brushing it off. Wow, Keithan. Didn't know I was your motivational coach. Should have charged you for it. He laughed, but it wasn't the usual carefree sound. It was quieter, almost wistful. You were more than that, you know? You were like home to me. No matter how crazy things got, I always felt like I could be myself with you. His words hung in the air, and I found myself fiddling with the rim of my coffee cup, unsure of how to respond. That's really sweet, Keithan. I didn't know you felt that way. He shrugged, looking away briefly before turning his attention back to me. Yeah, well, I guess being away for so long makes you realize what you've been missing. I chuckled, trying to lighten the mood. I hope you missed more than just my lectures on time management. His grin returned, though it didn't quite reach his eyes this time. Oh, I missed plenty more than that. Your laugh, your random rants about books and movies, the way you always ordered the same drink but acted like it was a big decision. Okay. Interrupted, feeling my cheeks flush under his steady gaze. Brother, are you gonna propose or something? You're starting to make me sound predictable. He shook his head, his voice dropping to a softer, almost reverent tone. Not predictable, just you. And that's more than enough. I laughed nervously, the weight of his words flying right over my head. Alright, Mr. Sentimental, let's not get too sappy now. People might think you're turning into a softie. How long do you think the game is? I don't know. Maybe like a little bit longer? I don't know. It's just a prologue, so I assume probably like maybe one more scene after this, if anything. Keithan's lips quirked into a small smile, but his eyes held something deeper, something I couldn't quite place. Maybe I already have. Tilted my head, giving him a curious look. What was that? Nothing. His grin widening as he leaned back in his chair. Just saying it's nice to be back. I'm gonna be playing some horror games after, I think. I smiled, the warmth of his presence over me like a favorite blanket. It's nice to have you back, Keithan. Really. For a moment, we just sat there, the world around us fading into the background. Couldn't help but laugh, the tension melting away as we fell into easy conversation. Felt like no time had passed at all, and yet there was a comforting sense of new beginnings in the air. To me, it was the easy comfort of an old friendship rekindled. Spent most of the afternoon catching up, sharing stories, and laughing about the old days. The outdoor seating area was bathed in the golden... Wait. Bathed in the glow of the setting sun when we started, but now it had transitioned to the cool stillness of night, street lights casting soft halos over the tables. The gentle hum of passing cars and the occasional chatter of late-night pedestrians filled the background. Keithan glanced at his phone, his eyes widening slightly. Ah, shoot. I didn't mean to take up so much of your time, especially while you're working. He looked away, rubbing the back of his neck with a hint of embarrassment. Hey. Waved off his concern with a grin. It's no biggie. Minji was totally cool with it. She's the one who said I could take some time to talk, so don't feel bad, okay? At my reassurance, Keithan perked back up, his sheepish smile returning. Well, in that case, send my thanks to your boss. She's got my eternal gratitude. She's got my eternal gratitude. I'll even leave a big tip to make it official. I laughed. Yeah, I'll let her know you're a man of your word. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. He leaned back in his chair, briefly stretching before he stood. The night air carried a faint chill rustling through the nearby trees. Anyways, I really need to head out. Mother Goose is waiting for me at home, and you know how she is. Total worrywart. I nodded knowingly. Still the same, huh? I can already hear her nagging in my head. Keithan, where are you? Do you even know what time it is? He laughed, shaking his head. You're not far off. She's probably pacing by now. But honestly, I missed it. It's nice to be back with family, even if it comes with all the fretting and motherly guilt trips. Never mind. What? Yeah, I get that. You don't want to live with your parents. I said, smiling softly. It's good to have people who care, even if they drive you a little crazy sometimes. Keithan gave me a look, his tone softening. It's good to have old friends who still put up with me, even after all this time. I rolled my eyes, trying to brush off the sentiment before it got too sappy. Yeah. Don't go getting all emotional on me now. He smirked, leaning down slightly to meet my gaze. Too late. I'll save the waterworks for next time, though. Deal? Deal. I said, laughing as I stood with him and walked towards the edge of the seating area. Before stepping onto the sidewalk, he turned back with a playful grin. Don't forget, you owe me a proper catch-up next time. Maybe a hug, if you're feeling generous. Shook my head, smiling. Bro really is, where's my hug at? Guy? Where's my hug at? We'll see about that. Now go before your mom sends out a search party. It's a good thing he's handsome. He laughed, waving as he headed off into the night. The warmth of his presence lingered even after he was gone, blending with the cool night air and leaving me with a strange mix of nostalgia and something I couldn't quite place. Horrifying. No. What, you guys don't like the where my hug at? It doesn't give the same energy when he's a hot guy. It doesn't. Same exact sentence, by the way, basically. As Keithan walked away from the outdoor seating area, I stayed behind for a moment, watching him weave through the dimly lit street toward his car. The soft glow of the streetlights reflected off the sleek surface of the vehicle as he unlocked it and slid into the driver's seat. Engine roared to life, a low, familiar sound that carried through the quiet evening. He didn't leave immediately, though. He paused, glancing in my direction through the windshield. For a brief second our eyes met, and he gave a small wave, his smile illuminated by the faint glow of the dashboard. I returned the wave, standing there until the car began to roll forward, disappearing down the street with the taillights fading into the distance. Immediately unhots him. A strange warmth lingered in my chest as I finally turned around, heading back towards the cafe's entrance. Can I get a stretch check? That's good. Okay. Night air was cool against my skin as I stepped inside, the transition from the calm of the outside world to the familiar coziness of the cafe grounding me. Closing the door behind me, I let out a soft sigh, still caught between the nostalgia of the day and the quiet anticipation of what tomorrow might bring. As I stepped back into the cafe, the familiar aroma of coffee and faint chatter greeted me. I hadn't taken 2 steps when Sam appeared out of nowhere, leaning casually against the counter with a sly grin on her face. So, she began, her tone light and teasing. How was the grand reunion? Did sparks fly? Old flames rekindled? Don't leave me hanging. I rolled my eyes, settling down the tray of empty cups I'd brought back from the outdoor table. Was it like that, Sam? We just caught up after all. Uh-huh. She crossed her arms, clearly unconvinced. Just catching up, huh? You were out there for hours. That kind of catching up sounds like romantic leads in a drama. I gave her a flat look, but the corners of my lips betrayed a small smile. Don't start, Sam. But she wasn't done. Leaning in closer, her grin widened. You know, now that I think about it, this is getting interesting. You've got Kier, your bias, the soulful, dreamy idol, and now Keithan, the childhood bestie with charm for days. Which one's it gonna be? My cheeks immediately burned, and I groaned, burying my face in my hands. Oh my god, Sam, stop! Hey, I'm just saying. She laughed, clearly enjoying how flustered I was. I mean, imagine the drama. The idol versus the best friend? This could be a whole movie. Yeah, one where I walk out and refuse to play the lead. It's more of a video game plot, honestly. I muttered, shaking my head. Sam finally relented, though she was still grinning ear to ear. Fine, but you are going to tell me more about your little catch-up later, right? I sighed, knowing she wasn't going to let go. We'll see, Sam. Now, can we please get back to work before Minji catches us slacking off? Fine, boss. With a mock salute, her mischievous smile lingered as she grabbed a cloth and started wiping down the counter. As I walked away, I couldn't help but smile to myself. Sam was relentless, but her teasing only reminded me of how much she cared. Even if the whole Kier or Keithan thing was absurd, a tiny part of me couldn't help but wonder. I'm not sure. Keithan is just a best friend. We've been buddies since we were kids. Kier's an idol. There's no way I'll be able to meet him. I let out a quiet sigh, shaking off the lingering thoughts as I slipped back into the rhythm of the night shift. I swooped the floor of the now empty, lit-up cafe. It's almost closing time. I gotta clean the place for tomorrow. With Sam leaving early due to a sudden stomach ache and Minji needing to handle something important, I was left to man the cafe alone. The evening had been mostly quiet, save for a few late-night regulars who'd already cleared out. Now as closing time loomed, I focused on cleaning the counter, my thoughts inevitably wandering. Keithan's voice played back in my head, full of laughter and warmth, as if he hadn't missed a beat since we'd last seen each other. It's comforting, but then my mind shifted to the memory of Kier's voice. Smooth, captivating, and strangely familiar in ways I still couldn't explain. A small sigh escaped my lips as I scrubbed an already spotless spot on the counter. Soft chime of the doorbell snapped me out of my musings. Ow, what the hell? Why are you bonking me? Soft chime of the doorbell snapped me out of my musings, and I glanced up, expecting a straggler. Why the hell are you bonking me, chat? Nothing happened! Instead, my heart skipped a beat. A towering man stepped into the cafe, dressed head to toe in black. He wore a sleeveless turtleneck, with a small cut that exposed just a hint of his chest, paired with black leather pants and combat boots. What the hell? Bro, this... Where the hell did you come from? Over it all was a sleek black jacket with bits of midnight blue that practically screamed designer. But what really caught my attention was his hair. It's impossibly long, very light blonde with black tips and roots. There's no fucking way. Then he saw me. His handsome face broke into a smile. His midnight blue eyes seemed to shimmer under the soft cafe lighting. Like tiny stars were twinkling in them. Excuse me. He began, his voice soft and smooth. I know you're about to close, but could I place an order? Just for 3 people. The band. I blinked momentarily, stunned by how familiar his voice sounded. Clicked like all too quickly and my stomach flipped. Burn his hair. Kill, burn it with fire. Well, you don't like him? Maybe he just needs to put his hair back. No way. No way. This couldn't be happening. Of course. I managed to say, trying to keep my voice steady. What can I get for you? Stepped closer to the counter, glancing briefly at his phone before responding. 2 caramel lattes and 1 iced Americano to go. Okay, iced Americano is fine, actually. I nodded and started punching in the order, but my hands felt shaky. He came at closing instant hate. You know, kinda true if you know you're gonna close, but he didn't order a lot. He didn't order a lot, okay? Hi, String Beaner. He didn't order a lot, okay? Was it really him? He didn't have any sort of cover on, just out there in the open. My hands fumbled on the screen, tapping the wrong buttons over and over. My heartbeat quickened, and the shaking in my fingers grew worse. Couldn't contain my excitement anymore. It was completely overwhelming me. Like my body was just shutting down from the sheer intensity of it all. Without noticing, I felt a soft touch on my head. Startled, I looked up to see Kier leaning closer, his face just inches from mine. His expression was gentle, but tinged with worry. Hey, it's alright. Take your time. Soft, his voice low and soothing. If you're having a bad day, I don't mind waiting for my order. I could feel myself melting under his concerned gaze, heat rushing to my face. No, I'm fine. It's just that, before I could embarrass myself further, Kier let out a deep, velvety chuckle. A fan? He teased, his lips curling into an amused smile. Slumped down in defeat, my shoulders sinking as I gave him a sheepish, apologetic look. Yeah, a huge fan, actually. Sorry if I made things awkward. For a second, his eyes widened in surprise. Caught the faintest blue blush creeping onto his cheeks. He glanced away, clearing his throat, but I could still see the flicker of a smile on his lips. It's no issue, he muttered. Then, as if he couldn't help himself, I heard him mumble under his breath. So, it actually worked. Wait, what? I blinked, tilting my head. I'm sorry, did you say something? Kier quickly straightened up, flashing me a grin that was half playful, half mischievous. Oh, nothing important, he said with a wink. Wait, there's no way these are colored contacts in a wig, right? There's no way, he said with a wink. I just meant, I don't mind having you as a fan. Felt my cheeks heat up again. Wait a second, chat. I don't think I've ever seen Kier or Keithan in the same room at the same time. And their voices sound similar. But before I could respond, he leaned a little closer, resting his elbow on the counter and propping his chin in his hand. His midnight blue eyes sparkled with mischief. But you know, he continued, his tone turning playful. If you're such a huge fan, doesn't that mean I deserve some special treatment? No way he's gonna hit us where my hug at. Maybe a smile. Okay. Or even my order on the house. I blinked, taken aback by his sudden boldness. Wait, what? He chuckled again, leaning back slightly, but still watching me with that teasing grin. Keithan just got back from the moon, Clock. Oh, okay. But where's Kier been this whole time? Relax, I'm kidding. Mostly. Unless you want to spoil me. I groaned, trying to cover my burning face with my hands. Kier laughed, the sound rich and warm, and I couldn't help but peek through my fingers. His expression softened, the playfulness still there, but gentler now. Hey. His voice dropping just a little. Thanks for not causing a scene, Kier said, leaning casually against the counter as I wiped it down. Cafe was quiet now. Just the faint hum of the machines and the soft rustling of the closing routine. His voice was low, calm, but laced with warmth. I appreciate being treated like everyone else. Fumbled with the rag in my hand, feeling my heart race at his easy smile. Outside the strip mall. Of course. I stammered, keeping my eyes down on the counter. I mean, you're just a customer, right? He chuckled softly, and the sound sent a flutter through my chest. Just a customer, huh? He repeated, tilting his head slightly. I don't know. Doesn't that feel a little unfair to say about your favorite celebrity? My cheeks burned, and I looked away quickly. You're really not going to let that go, are you? Nope. With a grin, his midnight blue eyes sparkling in the soft glow of the cafe lights. Not every day I meet someone who admits they're a huge fan. Kind of boosts my ego, you know? Tried to suppress a laugh, but failed, the nervous tension in my chest loosening just a little. Your ego? I feel like that's the last thing you need help with. Kier leaned a little closer over the counter, his grin widening. Ouch. That hurts, really. Kier leaned a little closer over the counter, his grin widening. But if you're so worried about my ego, maybe you could balance it out. Say something nice to me. I ducked my head, clutching the rag tighter. I don't think that's a good idea, I mumbled. Why not? He teased, his tone light but persistent. Come on, I won't hold it against you. Promise. I bit my lip, feeling the heat rise in my cheeks before managing. Fine, your order was pretty normal. I'll give you credit for not being one of those customers. He let out a mock gasp, placing a hand dramatically over his chest. Normal? That's it? No. Kier, you're so talented, or wow, you're even more handsome in person. Yeah, he's like literally leaning completely over the counter, one tippy toe holding him up. I groaned, though my lips twitched into a small smile. Stop fishing for compliments, I muttered, my voice soft but warm. Who says I'm fishing? He countered smoothly, leaning just a bit closer. Oh my, he's literally on his pinky toe! His smirk tugged at the corners of his mouth. Maybe I just like hearing it from you. I froze, my breath hitching as I looked up at him. His gaze was steady, teasing but gentle, and it left me completely unprepared. I stammered, feeling my words slip away. He laughed softly, his voice rich and warm before pulling back. Relax. His tone softening. I'm just messing with you. It's been a long day, and honestly, this is the most fun I've had in hours. Hours. I busied myself by wiping the same spot on the counter, avoiding his gaze but feeling the tension in my shoulders ease. Well, glad to know I'm entertaining, I guess. I mumbled shyly. Kier chuckled again, standing upright. Hey, the place is closing, right? Need help putting the chairs up or something? I'm surprisingly good at manual labor. I blinked, looking up at him in surprise. Wait, what? You're serious? Why not? With a casual shrug, his smile was so effortlessly charming it made my heart skip. You've been working hard. Besides, I figure if I help, maybe you'll like me enough to give me a free drink next time. Shook my head, finally letting out a small laugh. You're unbelievable. He winked, grabbing a nearby chair and flipping it onto a table with exaggerated flair. I've been called worse. As we worked, he kept cracking jokes like when he held up a chair and said, Do you think this is my good side? Or when he tried to sweep, but mostly just push dust around. You're terrible at this, I said, trying not to laugh as I took the broom from him. He grinned, leaning on the counter. Hey, I'm trying. Besides, I'm more of a motivational presence than an actual worker. You mean a distraction? I corrected, smiling despite myself. Same thing, he said with a shrug, his grin growing. But at least I got you to smile. Hey, yo, those man titties! Hey, yo, man. What the hell? Just take it off. You're probably sweaty. Before doing anything else, he took off his jacket and placed it away on the chair. Kieran grabbed a chair and flipped onto the table with effortless ease. I watched him nervously clutching the rag in my hands as I wiped down the counter for the third time. He's really got a titty window. You really don't have to help, you know, I mumbled, glancing at him. He smirked, brushing imaginary dust off his shoulder. What kind of person would I be if I just stood here while you did all the work? Besides, I'm curious. How do cafes close up? Is there some secret ritual? I blinked, caught off guard. Not really. We just clean and lock up, I said quietly, my voice trailing off. Kier leaned on the table. He just cleared, tilting his head to look at me. Well, that's boring. I was hoping for something more dramatic. Like chanting over the espresso machine or making sacrifices to the coffee gods. A nervous giggle escaped me before I could stop it. No sacrifices, just lots of cleaning. Ah, cleaning. Grabbed another chair. The glamorous side of cafe life. Maybe I'll add it to my resume. Professional chair flipper. What do you think? I bit my lip, trying to stifle a laugh. I think you're not taking this seriously. Me? Not serious. He feigned defense, holding the chair like it was a trophy. I'll have you know I'm very dedicated to my craft. Look at this technique. Couldn't help but laugh, softly, my nerves beginning to fade. You're ridiculous, I muttered, shaking my head. Ridiculously helpful, you mean? He quipped, placing the chair on the table with a flourish. He let out a cheeky grin before putting his jacket back on. Started to sweep the floor, my hands steadying as my confidence grew. Kier grabbed a broom from the corner and attempted to join in. His sweeping was less than effective. You're doing that all wrong, I said, the words slipping out before I could think. He looked up at me with wide eyes, his expression mock hurt. Wow, way to crush a guy's spirits. It's taking forever. No, I didn't mean it like that, I stammered, waving my hands in panic. He glanced down at the floor, then back at me with a lopsided grin. Guess I'm not cut out for this after all. Maybe I'll stick to being a devastatingly handsome instead. I ducked my head, my face warming. You're impossible. And yet, he leaned on the broom like it was a prop. Here I am, making you smile. Which, by the way, looks very cute on you. I froze, my heart skipping a beat, before ducking my head again to hide my growing smile. You're just saying that. Am I? His voice was softer now, but still playful. Maybe I just like seeing you happy. Peeked up at him, my nerves easing as his smile turned warm and genuine. Well, thanks, I guess. I said, my tone softer now, too. No problem. He replied, sweeping badly, before laughing. So, do I pass the audition? Can I join the team? I giggled, shaking my head. Not a chance. You're more work than help. Ouch. He clutched his chest dramatically. That's cold. But hey, if you're putting up with me means I get to see that smile again, I'd say it's worth it. Rolled my eyes, but couldn't stop the laugh bubbling up. Fine, you're not completely useless. Happy? Very. Grinning as he propped the broom against the wall. See, I knew I'd win you over. As we finished closing up, Kier kept tracking jokes. And I found myself laughing more easily with every quip. By the time the cafe was ready to lock up, my nerves were long gone, replaced by a warmth I couldn't quite place. Thanks for the help, I said shyly as we stood by the door. Anytime. Kier replied, his tone playful but sincere. Hope we can meet again. And next time, maybe I'll earn that employee discount. I laughed, shaking my head. Don't push your luck. He winked. Worth a shot. He grabbed the takeout cup and took a sip, his eyes lighting up as he let out a satisfied hum. Looks like I'll be coming back here more often. His voice warm and teasing, then with a cheeky grin he added, Coffee's delish, especially when it's made by a cute barista. My cheeks immediately flared up and I nearly dropped the rag in my hand. Hey! I stammered, my voice squeaking slightly. Kier let out a loud laugh, the sound rich and unrestrained. So different from his polished public image that I found myself staring for a moment. He caught my gaze and tilted his head slightly, the grin softening into something more genuine. Thanks again. His tone now quieter, sincere. You really made my day after a pretty stressful one. Before I could respond, he opened the front door and stepped out into the cool evening air. With one last wave, he was gone, leaving me standing there, frozen in place, my heart racing. As soon as the door shut, I let out a strangled squeal, dropping to the floor and covering my mouth with my hands. Wait, we didn't ask for his number? Bro. My legs gave out as the realization hit me. I just met Kier. Sam wasn't lying when she said he was nothing like this so-called cold-look moon prince persona. No tip! Wait, we're not in America. We're not in America. Chat, we're not in America. They probably just don't tip here. That's fine. That's normal. That's normal, not in America, okay? Use distant or intimidating. Or North America, I should add. Use casual, playful, and flirty. I groaned, my cheeks burning all over. Again at the memory of his teasing grin. How was I supposed to process this? My brain felt like it was short-circuiting. I buried my face in my hands, muffling another scream. Finally, I forced myself to stand. My legs still wobbly as I moved to finish the last few touches before officially closing the shop. The cafe was eerily quiet now, but my thoughts were anything but calm. So many things happened today. I whispered to myself, leaning on the counter for support. My heart still hadn't slowed down, but he also helped us close the store. He did help us close the store, at least put the chairs up, which I think we're playing as a dainty girl, so I feel like that's useful. No hug. I'm gonna burst. As I wiped the last table and turned off the lights, I couldn't help but smile despite my frazzled nerves. Kier's laugh echoed faintly in my mind, and his parting words played over and over again. Looks like he'll be coming back here often. The thought sent another rush of warmth to my cheeks. This was how the day ended. I wasn't sure if I was ready for what tomorrow might bring. That awful feeling is gone now. I don't feel like I don't feel like anyone was following me home. Kier POV. Yeah, I figured it was Kier. But maybe not. Kier climbed into the black van, carefully balancing the takeout cups in one hand. He made them wait like an hour. Min was slumped against the seat, fast asleep, while Oriel followed behind, holding a small bag of takeout. Sorry for making you wait, Oriel said, sliding the van door shut. His tone was apologetic, though tinged with his usual calm demeanor. Had to get takeout and Min. He paused, glancing at the redhead asleep. Oh, he's out cold. Kier chuckled softly, placing the takeout on the folding table attached behind the car seat. It's fine, Hyun. No rush. He leaned back against his seat with a small smile. Anyway, I got you guys coffee. At the mention of coffee, Min stirred his head, lifting groggily. His deep voice broke the quiet. Is one of them an iced Americano? Kier raised a cup with a faint grin. Ice kinda melted, but it's still cold. Min extended a hand lazily, still too tired to fully sit up. Oriel reached for the cup instead, carefully passing it to their main dancer. The moment Min took a sip, his entire body seemed to relax, satisfied sigh escaping his lips. Finally. He muttered, his voice still gravelly from sleep. Oriel chuckled at the sight, shaking his head as he slid into his seat. That dance practice really wiped you out, huh? Min rested his head against the window, taking another sip of his drink. That and that crazy woman. His tone sharp with lingering irritation. She's delusional, thinking I'm her destiny or something. The van grew quiet for a moment as the weight of the earlier incident settled in. Oriel's calm demeanor faltered slightly, his brows furrowing. He glanced at Kier, who was busy unpacking the takeout. Right, Oriel said softly, his voice more serious now. That whole mess turned the company upside down. Didn't they just overhaul the entire staff because of it? Kier nodded, his expression neutral, though his movements were slower, more deliberate. Yeah, security's been on high alert ever since. Min exhaled, his frustration still palpable. It's exhausting. He admitted. Sometimes I think about how much easier things were before all of this. He gestured vaguely, his hand still gripping the coffee cup. Oriel leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. Easier maybe, but none of this is your fault, Min. You're not the one causing these problems. Kier glanced up from his seat, his usual playful smirk replaced with something softer. Yeah, Young's right. Don't let one person ruin what we've worked so hard for. He paused then, added with a grin, trying to lighten the mood. Besides, you wouldn't survive a day outside this life. You'd be crawling back for an iced Americano by noon. Min scoffed, though the corner of his lips twitched upwards. Says the guy who can't go 10 minutes without stealing a sip of my drink. Oriel laughed, the tension in the air easing as he sat back against his seat. This game reminds me a lot of Adam, but like instead of a toxic dynamic between all of them, they actually seem like really great friends. It's like the exact opposite. You two really can't go 5 minutes without bickering, can you? Kier shrugged, his grin widening. Oh, sorry, Adam. Like from You and Him. Sorry, Adam's a boy band group from You and Him. A game that I plan on playing when it gets re-released, okay? So don't ask. Don't yell at me. It's part of the charm. As the van began to move, the three of them settled into a more comfortable silence. The earlier stress seemed to fade, replaced by the familiar camaraderie that always pulled them together through their hardest days. The driver, who had been quietly listening until now, finally chimed in, his voice light and teasing. Speaking of surviving this life, your manager told me to pass on some news. All three of them turned to look at him, curiosity piqued. The driver glanced at them through the rear view mirror, a small grin on his face. Apparently a famous chef reached out. She's inviting you to her restaurant tomorrow night to celebrate your latest release. Said it's on the house too. Kier's eyes widened, his grin lighting up his face. Wait, seriously? Which chef? Driver shrugged, trying to play it cool. Someone big. I'm gonna say this name wrong, I'm so sorry. Nim, Yunju? But your manager seemed pretty excited about it. Told me to make sure you guys don't have plans. Oriel leaned back, crossing his arms with a small smile. Well, that's definitely something to look forward to. Min raised his cup in mock toast, his grogginess giving way to a faint smirk. Free food. Guess I'll forgive the universe for today's chaos. Kier laughed, nudging Min's shoulders lightly. You're only in it for the food? And you're not? Min shot back, earning another laugh from Kier. Oriel shook his head at their banter, his expression softening. Clock, say it right. I don't know how to say their name. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Canadian. I forgot to check, but have you seen Sun Hee's update on the collab? Oriel snapped his fingers, as if this collab hadn't been something that had plagued his mind the moment it was presented. Definitely. It's gonna be amazing, I tell you. She's the leader of the Upols for a reason. My cat's meowing. Min spoke up, nodding in admiration and awe. I've heard she's mostly done work on her own. Can you handle Senior Sun? Kier eyed Oriel, a playful smirk on his lips. Very funny. She's the best there is. Oriel shook his head, a smile tugging at his lips. This collab is gonna be the collab of the century. The Sunhee isn't gonna deter him. Min declared, rolling his eyes. Alright, don't hound me. Kier held up a hand in mock surrender, a smirk still etched onto his lips. Alright, boys, let's get home first. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. The van eased into the quiet hum of the road as the three of them fell into comfortable chatter. Their earlier tension replaced with anticipation for what the next day might bring. Alright, speaking of Nim Yeonju, I heard her son is back in the country. Okay. Min and Kier both perked up, exchanging curious glances. She has a son. His tone was casual, but there was a spark of interest in his eyes. Ariel nodded, a small smile tugging at his lips. Yeah, he mostly stays out of the public eye. But you know how the media loves to dig up anything they can. Min tilted his head thoughtfully. What's his name again? I remember she married a foreigner. Now I'm curious. Oriel's grin widened slightly as if savoring the build-up. I think it was Keithan Nimcats or something like that. Kier's expression froze, his usual calm demeanor slipping for a split second. Sorry. I think we just found the Yandere moment. His jaw tightened, but the other two didn't seem to notice as they kept talking. So he's been abroad all this time. Yeah, in the States. Studying, I think. Word is he came back about a month ago and started making appearances here and there. Good for him. With a degree and that kind of family backing, he'll probably land himself a solid career. Being an heir doesn't hurt either. Kier's fists clenched under the table, his mind racing. Keithan. He's back. The name echoed in his head, stirring emotions he thought he'd buried long ago. Anger. Frustration. How could he not see this coming? Were they all in, like, the same class or something? What the fuck is this? After years of searching, years of waiting, he took a slow breath, his thoughts darkening. I won't let Keithan take them from me again. The memory of being separated still stung, and he wasn't about to let history repeat itself. Whatever it took, whatever it cost, he wouldn't let anyone stand in his way. A sudden jolt rocked the van, causing Kier to almost spill his coffee. The abrupt motion startled Min and Oriel. Whoa, be careful. He leaned forward, studying Kier's cup before tipping over. Man, you good? You almost lost that. Kier forced a smile, his voice calm but clipped. I'm fine. Oriel and Min exchanged a glance but didn't press further, returning to their conversation. Kier leaned back, gripping his cup tightly. It doesn't matter what it takes. His gaze hardened as the thoughts settled deep in his chest, a cold and unrelenting truth. I'll protect what's mine. No. I'll claim what's mine. And that's the prologue to Backstage Infatuation. There's no other endings, but I implore you to check out the other options yourself, to check them out and play the demo and rate the game highly on itch. I think this was pretty good. I do have some minor criticisms with it, but like honestly, this is pretty good for a story. I really like that ending. It was really great. I like the personalities of the two guys where I like their two personalities. They're a little different. And I'm very interested in who was following us that day. You know, I feel like it was obviously Kier, but, you know, it could have been Keithan. He's been home for a month. He could have been stalking us, too. Who went into our room and stole our panties? I know it didn't mention that, but I'm going with that narrative, man. That's what happened in the kid in the back. That's what's happening here, okay? It's always the panties. I don't know why. These Yanderes love panties, dude. Anyways. And yeah, now it's gonna be an enemies to lovers. I don't think so, chat. I think we're gonna riz one of them. But I am enjoying it. The art is fantastic, by the way. The why panties? I don't know, man. They just like to sniff them. It's really weird. You didn't see the kid in the back, part 1? Keithan stole the panties. I love how you say it so so matter of fact. Both of them, they met each other in the room. They had a fight. They were both hiding in the closet when she came home. When MC came home, they were hiding in the closet, still like kind of punching each other. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm Clock, if you forgot. And if you're new here, please clock that like button and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And if you like this video, you'll like the rest of the channel. We play games like this every day. A new upload every day, okay? Dating sims, horror games, visual novels. We play it all on the channel, okay? And we stream almost daily on the Twitch. So make sure to join that too. I don't think I have anything else to really say. If the upload seems slow lately and, you know, kind of out of whack, it's because I don't have my PC right now. I'm currently using a someone else's PC right now, and I just can't always use it. I don't have permanent access to it. My PC's in the shop right now getting fixed. It's gonna be a while before it gets fixed, so, or I can get like the part, figure out what the problem is and get it fixed. So, anyways, so. Sorry if we finally break the daily upload streak. I don't think we will, but we might. So I'll warn it. And if I don't upload as many visual novels, it's because I mostly just have horror games in the backup pile. So that's what we're gonna get. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, my only minor criticisms are the warning screen at the start. I wish it had a click to continue button and like click to acknowledge button, and the intro was a bit long. It was a bit long. I will agree, some people in chat were getting a little bored with it too. I get it. It's a bit long. It's a bit long of an exposition of, like, you know, talking about, like, gushing over the boy band and our daily life stuff. It's a bit long. Like, it's perfectly fine. No hate. It's just, like, a lot of people play these games because they just want to meet the guys. And it does take a long time to meet the guys, I would say. But not horribly. Plus, like, a lot of people who play this personally, they're just gonna skip it, right? They just, like, smash. But I don't think you want that as a developer, right? Nobody wants to write a story that people are skipping over dialogue. Like, reading it over so quickly they don't even really know what's happening until they see the thing they want, right? Slow burn, Clock. Slow burn. I don't think you can really consider this a slow burn, because a slow burn still requires something to happen. It just slowly, like, it builds up to the love. But in this case, it was just a bit long of an intro. Could have done with a little bit less daily life stuff, but they did a pretty good job. Like, I'm not lying. That's just personal take, okay? Everyone can be. To me, it felt like me talking with my friends, literally the same. Yeah, I still think it was perfectly fine. I'm just saying, personal taste-wise, I think it could have been a little bit shorter. I don't think the gushing with the friend could be shorter. Just like the life stuff could have been. But I did like the stalking scene a lot. Like, I did like the stalking scene a lot. And I feel like you could have put in, maybe you could have put in Keithan on the first, like, I feel like you could have, you didn't have to wait a whole day in between stuff happening, you know? Like, I feel like you could have had the gushing with the friend, and then you could have had Keithan show up, go home, feel stalked, and then the next day have Kier, instead of it being, like, all in the second day. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. I guess that is what happened, actually, isn't it? No, it's not. Because we went home after the first day and then met, yeah. That's too fast? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's just a personal take. I think it could have been fine that way. Especially when Queen Puppy Cat, you gotta remember, this is a prologue. And there's a lot more to come, which I am very thankful for. That's great to hear, by the way. I really wish the developer good luck and Godspeed on development, because I know the fans are gonna love this one, okay? I would have been like, what the fuck? Why? What would have been the problem with Keithan just being there on the first day? Like, just showing up. Is it really that different from him just showing up the next day? That's a lot to happen in one day, too. Too fast. Okay, well, my bad. My bad. Okay, true, no. Everyone's different, see what I mean? But anyways, it's just minor, that's why I said it, minor criticisms. I would still say this is, like, a very strong start to a visual novel project, and I can't wait to see where this goes. I saw the itch page. There's so many more characters that they have drawn there, and they all look fantastic. Music was great choice too. I don't think you made it, but if you did make it, props to you. And if you just picked it out, some free music, whatever, then it sounds great too. It really fits. Yeah, I'm excited for more Yandere nonsense. Okay, so with that, I'm clocking out. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.